Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And man, can I tell you, I am pumped to get started on this episode. I have a lot of ideas and I have a lot of plans on what I want to do. I'm not going to be able to do all of those plans in just this episode, but my brain is pumping with ideas. So let's get started. So what I'm planning to do in this episode is I want to finish the shell of this base. Not any interior, not styling anything, just a shell. And I am going to be needing sticky pistons for this door because I want to make one of those doors that, the pistons open up, goes to the top, goes down, and then I can just easily walk through. So I'm going to need sticky pistons for that, and I don't have slime. So why not, seeing as I need it, why not mass produce it? So I have found a slime chunk. There were a lot more, there were like 4 slime chunks next to each other, but I'm going to need a farm that's that efficient. So I'm just going to use this one chunk. As you can see, this little chunk here, this is actually a slime chunk. So I'm going to dig this down to 7, and yeah, then I can start building this. And if you're wondering how to find a slime chunk, I will leave a link to a video in the description. Now, I know this all seems a bit confusing, and you might be sitting there asking yourself, but if I said I wanted to build a slime farm that just gives me a few slimes because I don't need that many, why would I go ahead and mine out an entire chunk? Now, you see, this farm that I'm building at this moment, it's going to give me 4,000 plus items or slimes, per hour. So that's a lot. I don't really need that many, but I didn't dig out the entire chunk just to make the slime farm. I've also been running very low on resources like stone, smooth stone, stone brick, stuff like that. So I thought this was going to be a good opportunity to get a ton of those. And as you can see, I have 4 double chests full of stone and some. So it was totally worth it. I have a bunch of other materials. I found 6 diamonds. I found a lot of loot, a lot of iron. So this was totally worth it, and this is it's a very long way down. I don't know. I think I might be able to survive this. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to have to light up the caves around here. I'm going to see if there's any caves besides that one. So I'm going to light all of those up, and then I can start building the platforms, getting the magma blocks, doing all the redstone. I've already got 13 slime balls from this because I've come down 2 times and there were slimes, so I just quickly killed them. I have found bigger slimes than this. I haven't found one of those mega slimes, like the biggest ones that you can get. I haven't seen one of those, but I'm sure this will work because your spawning area, like your AFK platform, needs to be at Y128 to make this thing efficient. So the higher I am, the more efficient this is. So I don't think any slimes will spawn if I'm just down here. That's why if I go up, slimes spawn. But now I can get started on so what I'm going to do is I'm going to smelt up all of the stone up there, some of it, not all of it because that's a lot. I'm going to fill in this with smooth stone slabs, make a bunch of layers, put all of the redstone and magma blocks in, build a collection system, and then we should be good to go. So I've gone ahead and filled in all of these with buckets of lava. As you can see, I now have 7 on each side. I could make all of these buckets thanks to our iron farm that's somewhere around here. So yeah, everything's coming together. Everything is like iron farm, my potatoes, the emerald, everything is coming together to make my life easier. But now I have a lot of fuel. I can put all this stone in, and then all I have to do now, I've already made a small little area over here. All I have to do now is just go AFK. This is probably going to take 2, maybe 3 hours. So I'll see you in a bit.
2 hours later.
This should be enough. So just before we get started on building the platforms, I also did quickly make a little pumpkin farm here because I needed jack-o'-lanterns. Now what you need these for is if you build the platforms, that's an area for the slimes to spawn. And slimes in slime chunks, they can spawn in light, so it doesn't have to be dark. And if it's light, no other mobs except slimes can spawn, so it increases the efficiency a lot. I would just place torches, but every time you say you place a torch on a block, like this, if you take your torch and you place it on a block, no mobs can spawn on this block because there's a torch on top of it. So what happens with jack-o'-lanterns is if I put a jack-o'-lantern in the ground, not like that, that's a mistake, like this, if you put it in the ground like that, slimes can still spawn on this, so it increases the efficiency of the farm by a lot. But now that I have 2 stacks and 6, this should be enough. Let's get started on building these platforms. We are almost done. I have 3 more layers to go, just these 3, and then all of the layers of the slime farm are done. This is looking real impressive, and as you can see, there are already some slimes down there. Now don't worry, I'm going to drop off of this, don't worry, I'm not going to die. I have feather falling. So yeah, you can see we already have some slimes. This is quite efficient. And all of the layers aren't even active. The higher I go, like my AFK platform will be at 128 blocks in the air. So this is going to be a really efficient farm. I already have a bunch of slime, as you can see. For the project that I'm making this iron farm, I wanted to get some sticky pistons for my door at my main base, that bunker. I already have more than enough slime for that, but I just thought I might as well mass produce it, seeing as I need some. And here we go, just quickly placing in the final blocks, and that is done. That is the entire slime chunk done. I also made myself a slime block, and these things are actually quite fun to use. I like them, if I can just, use them right, which I can't. But here you can see here at the bottom level, there aren't any, up here. But the higher I go, the more will spawn on these platforms. You can see most of the drops, most of the slimes are just down here, and they can't even spawn here. The only place they can spawn is here, so you can see how efficient this farm is. From just this one layer, I already had a stack. I made this slime block. Yeah, this farm is going to produce a lot of slime, but now with all of these platforms done, I can get started on putting in the powered rails and the hopper minecarts with the redstone and the magma block on top. I'm finally going to have a actual use for that iron farm. I'm going to have to fill in all of these blank spaces. I'm going to have to put iron golems everywhere to lock the slime to jump onto the magma blocks. I'm going to need a lot of iron for that. So thankfully I've already built an iron farm. I've now gone ahead and gathered all of the materials that I'm going to need to finish all of this off, all of the powered rails, and I'm going to need a bunch of rails as well, just normal rails, but I'll get that later. I've got comparators, I've got repeaters, redstone torches, all the hoppers. And that is the final touches. Ladies and gentlemen, this farm is now complete. All of the layers, I have the minecarts in, or I have made a little area down here where I'm going to put my chest. It has already done a little bit of work. I've put in all of the iron golems that I'm going to need. I still have a bunch of iron left, but I put that away. This farm is now done. All I need to do at this point to get this thing working is I need to go up to Y128, because that's the most efficient level for the farm to work, because the higher I go, slimes will never just spawn right next to you, according to the video that I watched. So if I build my spawning platform or my AFK platform way up at 128 blocks, Y128, then this farm will be at its most efficient. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then probably AFK for, I don't know, an hour, see how many drops I get. And there we are, that is my AFK platform. I added a bit of slime just to, it's a slime AFK platform, so just to make it feel a little bit more at home. The view is kind of cool, but yeah, it is kind of structured by this. And I left the roof open. That's for quite a specific reason. Is I want to do it soon. I want to get my elytra, because my world, everything is starting to just feel so big. Everything is starting, to get further away, the slime farm from all of my other stuff. And the best thing to make things feel smaller is an elytra. So I really want one of those this entire episode. Every time I'm like walking from say the trading hall or the iron farm back to the slime farm. I'm just longing to get that elytra, so I really want one. Might even do that in the next episode, but I do still have a lot of plans to do in this episode. That's not going to happen now. Maybe even the next one, maybe even not the next one, but I really do want one. Anyway, I'm going to go AFK right now, and then I'll see you in a bit. And after 1 hour of being AFK at my platform up there, let's see these drops. I think I'll get a lot. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's not what I was expecting. This farm is supposed to make more than 4,000 items per hour. That is not even close. Let's check the other side. Yeah, that is not even close. Not quite sure what the problem there is, but I guess it's efficient enough. I don't really need that many, slime balls, so I guess this will do. I've gone ahead and went into the replay mode just to check out everything around it, because if there are any caves around this massive slime farm that we've built, you can see there's actually some slimes down there. I have paused it, but if there's any caves around this, mobs will spawn and it will really affect the efficiency. So as you can see, we built it right next to a mine shaft, and that is a very big problem. As you can see down here, there's a lot of mobs. So if I light up all of this, the efficiency should be increased by a lot. There's also a dungeon right over there. We have a ravine, so there's a lot of spaces where mobs can spawn. You see they are taking full advantage of that. So I'm gonna go ahead, and it shouldn't be that big of a job. Actually, no, this is gonna be massive. This is a lot, especially this mine shaft. But I might even do that in the next episode because I still want to continue, building the frame of my base. But this is looking quite impressive. But lighting up all of these, that's going to be the big issue. It's also going to increase the efficiency a lot, which is what I'm looking for. Although I will not be doing any more work on the slime farm in this episode because I don't really at this moment need a slime farm that gives me 4,000 items per hour. That's a bit over the top, and I am in a single player world, so I don't really need that much. So I'm going to continue what I was planning on spending the most time in this episode on. And to be honest, I don't even think I can call this the vocal point anymore. I think the slime farm is more of the vocal point. But yes, I've gathered all of the grey concrete that I've created, turned it all into, converted it all, and now I'm ready to get into a time lapse and build the rest of just the shell of this base. So, fun little story. Do you remember all of that concrete I had? Like, almost my entire inventory was full. Yeah, I used all of that up. This is a lot bigger than what I expected. It uses a lot more resources than what I thought. All of that concrete's up, so I've gone ahead and I've used all of that concrete up, so I've gone ahead and gathered a lot more concrete, a lot more than I had previously. This entire chest and then half of this chest. So let's continue a time lapse and finish building this. And there we go. That is this entire build, this massive base done. Now this is essentially a massive mob spawner. All of the fun stuff like creepers, skeleton, zombie, all that. Nice, friendly creatures are spawning in there. But now with this done, that is also going to be the end of this episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.